Hi, my wise astrology tribe, Cosmic Insight Astrology. I am your co-pilot, Christina. Today, I'm here with a new analysis, and we're going to analyze together the full moon in Cancer, which is going to happen in 24 degrees, and it's going to happen January 13, 2025. I'm gonna make sure I'm going to allow you to see the background, everything. Just right now, I wanted to talk to you a little bit about my promotion because I still have, it's only January 9th. And I've written the 2025 horoscope, actually, which is each individual rising sign. And you can buy it for your rising sun or moon or stellium, or you can purchase it, all of them. And actually, I'm giving a 25% discount from it right now because January already started. You have to understand each individual month I actually break down each aspect, and it is usually 125 to 170 pages, so it's a lot. And also, I'm selling my videos as well because I did a 3 hour, 45 minutes for each individual signs as well. I'm going to put the promotion below over here, and you can buy it. Also, I have for sale 45 stock analysis. I analyze the German, the Austrian, the Japanese stock, the American stock market, the Mexican stock market. I analyze a lot of cryptocurrency as well, gold, silver, and I'm going to also put that below in a comment section. You can choose, and you will see actually my website, and also you will see my website, and my website has my email address on. And if you email me, and if you are interested any kind of stock, if you would like to buy it, quarterly, actually it's good for day traders as well, and also good for long-term investment. I analyze every single aspect, when it could actually rise, drop, what does it make it drop, the geopolitical, the weather-related issues on Earth, which is actually affecting the market. So I'm really into this kind of analysis. I don't know if you don't know me, I'm obsessed with astrology, and I really look into all kind of asteroids and fixed stars as well, because it's giving an extra layer and understanding and, extra knowledge. And knowledge is power, guys. And, the other thing is I love mundane astrology. I like word prediction. And, if I'm wrong, or if I always do research before what's happened when we had similar aspect. What can we actually, expect during this time? But on the other hand, I watch a lot of news, read a lot of books, and constantly reading and researching. So my knowledge and my researches and my videos has base. And also what you have to understand, I'm doing evolutionary astrology, and that is very important because of I truly believe mind over matter. So, for example, as I said, astrology is a tool. I am your co-pilot. You are the one who is flying this airplane. I'm just there to remind you if there is opportunity you should take onto, or if there is some kind of challenges and you should go around, or how can you remedy the situation? Remedy is always important. And actually what I really like, and I always say that to everyone because I learned that from my professor, who always said, prevention, prevention, prevention. So whatever, if you see there is some kind of hard aspect, if you prevent it, for example, because there could be some kind of issue with your weight, and you can gain weight, you're going to start some kind of new diet, and then you won't be doing that kind of and putting that kind of extra weight. So not everything we can change, but many times minds over matter. And even if you hold the positive thinking for 17 seconds, Jose Silva said 17 seconds, it's already start to manifest. All right, so that's what I wanted to promote, and I'm going to put that below. And today I'm going to talk about the full moon in Cancer and all the aspects it's going to make. And, we're going to talk about the geopolitical and the weather-related issues, anything about education, and so on as well. Actually, the war about the Middle East, and we're going to have in America actually an inauguration as well. As I said, I told you guys in 2024, end of February or beginning of March, when I made a video with Sama, Trump going to get attacked and going to be hit most likely with a gun on the head. And not once, multiple times. And actually the danger is not over. So we're going to see this, what's going to happen over here. I was talking about a lot of things, what is already and what already happened. And I might going to find a way how I can actually cut into the prediction what I already made. I'm just not really good with technology, but every single day I learn a little bit more. And I'm improving, so hopefully soon I will be master of it and it's not going to take a toll on me. All right, so let's see what's going to happen, guys. So you can see the full screen right now. What I also wanted to actually share with you, I might going to go and bring up some countries. And every single time I'm going to actually go on and analyze different countries. And actually I'm gonna share different countries or rulers chart with you. And then, we know better and we know a little bit more. So what I did say about Jimmy Carter, I said on October 2nd, when we had the eclipse on his sun and birthday, and I said either that day or he can die actually within 6 weeks, which he did. God bless him. I mean, I really liked him. Oh, and by the way, I do love politics, actually. I don't know why I started to love politics before when I was younger. Maybe it's coming with age, I guess, because you are more authentic and you dare to say the truth. Maybe that's why. But I'm really obsessed with politics, actually. So that's what's going on with me, and that's what's happening around. And I analyze a lot of political situation also around the world. All right. So let me share a chart with you actually, and it's going to be the full moon in Cancer chart here, as you can see. And we do have the moon 24 degrees Cancer, which is conjunct with Mars over here. And actually, obviously, it's opposing the sun and it's opposing as well part of Fortune. It's not exact, but it's 21 degrees. And, it's an opposition here. You also have to know it's actually trining Narcissus in Scorpio and actually square Aries and also square Chiron in Aries. It's also opposing Silver 26 degree in Capricorn, and it's sextile Volcano in 24 degrees Virgo and conjunct Cetus. So that is the picture of the sky right now. All right, and then we're going to actually stop the sharing over here, and we're going to move forward. So stop sharing. All right, and then you have to understand when I start actually to analyze everything, then I start actually with the Sabian symbol many times, especially if we are talking about lunations. And I also talking about a little bit of mythology and the keywords, because when we understand the mythology and keywords behind the asteroids and planets, then we understand a lot more, and then we are capable to actually tell the story, how it will unfold for us. And this is a lunation, this is an ending, this is an end of story. And the story started actually with the new moon in Cancer. So sometimes in end of June or July period, beginning of July, that was the new moon. And whatever happened with you back then, and I'm going to talk about each individual signs as well. So whenever happened over there with you, that's what going to actually either going to get fulfilled, or you're just going to cut the cord over here. And okay, so we know Cancer actually rules the fourth house, right? And Cancer, anything to do with history, family, living situation, that is your subconscious because it ruled by the moon, and that is your subconscious. The moon is your feelings. The moon representing apple, dog, it also representing your living situation, your home, your ancestry. It's representing your real estate business as well, and your land history. All right. And then also because of the fourth house is associated also with ending and funerals as well, guys. So there is a lot of meaning over here. And the full moon itself, it's a signing off of contract. It is an ending, right? So something is come to a fruition, something fulfilled perhaps. And the sapient symbol of this full moon is 24 degrees Cancer. And it is a woman and two men on a ferry boat at the start of a journey. So what does it really represent? So first of all, it is, even if it's a full moon and even if it's in rulership in Cancer and very, very feminine energy, it says two men and one woman. So the sapient symbol actually it's representing overwhelming male energy over here. And because of, the moon also going to conjunct Mars, which is the warrior, but we're going to talk about that later. So actually it's, first of all, it implies something is ending in our life and we are starting a progress and we are moving forward on the boat. We started all sailing, right? And we navigating through some kind of emotional current. And it could be also really, really nurturing as well because you have two men over there in the Sabian symbol who can actually provide safety and security. And, and the woman actually usually is the intuition over here, while the man could be practical and, the strength, the woman over here, the intuition. And so it is something to do with let's go on for a journey, let's start a new life, let's buy a new home, let's have a new baby, let's have a new dog, or some kind of thing like that. Definitely emotional transition, definitely, something to do with relationship roles and anything to do with also duality over here because of right the man and the female and the male energy as well. So, the moon is security and comfort at home, and it creates actually some kind of safe haven. And we're going to talk about the aspects of the moon right now. And the aspect as well, I forgot to mention that is also sextiling Uranus in Taurus. And Taurus actually a fixed sign, earth energy, very, very stubborn, doesn't want any kind of change, but Uranus wants innovation. It wants change. It's the rebel. Taurus is the material world because it rules the second house, and Taurus anything to do with the food we eat or values or financial security or self-worth as well. And Uranus over here is in detriment. Actually, it's in fall because it's in exaltation in Scorpio in the opposition sign, so it's in fall over here. So it's representing it's not that strong here, and definitely because of there is a sextile, and sextile is a Venusian energy in flavor, so it's a positive kissing energy here. It could bring in actually a positive change here. And then because of we want to have some kind of revolution in our life, we want to shake off or relationship or family life somehow, because maybe it's routine like, or maybe it's boring something over there. Maybe your living situation, maybe you just want to renovate your house and use some kind of very very vivid colors. Uranus is crazy with colors, and has the pink hair and very revolutionary and kind of crazy scientist or genius we can imagine with a crazy hair day. But yes, so that's what it is over here. It's going to bring in amazing new opportunities, a fresh restart over here. But that is coming unexpectedly because Uranus is unexpected. You might going to want to have a farm and go to actually live in some kind of sustainable, living situation in a farm, anything which is like very unconventional. And you might also going to self-discover yourself, and you're going to have some kind of healing, going through healing, and you healing family karma as well, right? But also, the financial system changing as well, and it's going to be some kind of, maybe it's going to open doors for alternative financial systems. Uranus anything to do with cryptocurrency, so there could be some kind of new cryptocurrency coming in, or maybe there going to be an announcement you are capable to use your crypto to buy house. You don't have to actually sell your crypto to purchase, but the bank's going to take crypto for payment, right? So that could be that as well. Yeah, so definitely breaking free from family traditions, and it is self-discovery. And if we're gonna go a little bit further with this, and Uranus is tornadoes, guys. And the moon is a closure, the moon is emotional. And even when it is a sextile, it could actually bring in big, big winds or tornadoes or something like that. But also because of the moon itself is the public. I would think maybe we would have some kind of announce some kind of new, smart urban villages or anything to do with adoption to the renewable energies over there, anything to do also with weather modification technologies. We already know it exists, right? If they can do a personal flair and have some kind of provide some kind of rain in a room, come on, they can do that for a long time already. But maybe we're gonna know about that. It's gonna be available for the public. At least it's gonna be available to know about it. They're not going to deny it anymore. And because of actually Uranus is the genius within. Uranus is the higher octave of Mercury, guys. So Uranus is the, as I said, the crazy genius over here, and we're going to have a lot more remote education. And why is it really good? Because moon is the public, and it's going to be available actually for underprivileged or unserved regions as well. So people actually. Uh, because of Elon Musk actually want to do the Starlinks, right? And want to do a phone. By the way, if he is doing that phone for $300, but he want to make available for everyone with internet anywhere, and the Starlinks, that you can use actually internet everywhere and you can learn, and that's going to be possible, guys. And also, we're going to learn about the AI tutoring system, which could be very, very good at one place, right? Because of tutoring is very expensive. I know that because I have children, right? And whatever you want to have, tutoring with, it's like what, 250 an hour, something like that. It's crazy. Except if you go to Khan Academy or something like that, you can always provide a cheaper version, but really an AI tutoring could be really, really good. And we're going to have remote learning, and it's going to be available for everyone. And also, because we are talking about feelings over here, Uranus, actually, this is a sextile over here. And, it could be like some kind of unexpected euphoria somehow. It's a good feeling about this. And because maybe because of we're going to hear something good about cryptocurrency, and a lot of you have, like cryptos, and if it's going to increase, obviously it's bringing euphoria. Or it could be something around the house markets as well, in general, around the world. And if it's a good news over there, then, we might going to be happy about that. But, also, on the other hand, Uranus is anything to do with what is that? So Uranus is bacterial infection. Neptune is a virus, and Uranus is bacterial infection. But I don't think so. We're going to have anything to do with right now bacteria. Oh, yes, 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 because actually the moon conjunct also Mars, and Mars is infection. Okay, okay. So in this case, wait, because even if it's a sextile, it could bring up some kind of issue with healthcare. And I'm gonna tell you what. I was talking about that 2 months ago or 3 months ago in Dada's videos. And I said, Mercury is actually the respiratory system, but the moon itself and Cancer rules the chest. And on the right side, the lung has three phalanges. And the very last one, the third one, is ruled by Cancer and not Mercury. But it's rules the chest. And because Mars could be inflammation, I told you guys we're going to have a new pneumonia disease. And guess what's happened? 6 days ago, I was reading the news, and of course, they said it's coming from China, and there is a new pneumonia, virus coming up, and it's spreading. We will see where is it gonna go, but obviously it could create something like that. And they said it's virus, but because Uranus is involved over here more than Neptune, I would say actually that's going to be some kind of bacterial infection. All right. Yes. So, and what else? Oh, because Uranus is also surveillance cameras as well. So we're going to have some kind of new policies about cybersecurity, surveillance cameras, anything to do with technology over here. And because of the moon rules families and your home, so home security going to be and personal safety very, very important. And I have to tell you guys something. I have two friends, and both of them had their car stolen, and both of them live in a gated community, but very high secured gated community. And and it's crazy. They go, you can see that on the camera, both of them send it to me. They go in with group of men going into the garage. They have some kind of technological something, but they actually pressing toward to the garage opener. So I think it's going to read the um, the warmth of where did you actually touched your garage door opener, and I think it's reading the energy. That's how they can get in. But this is crazy, and they had their cars actually stolen. So yes, that's what's happening lately. So we're going to have a lot of, security, home security monitors. And on the other hand, because of the moon is sextiling with Uranus, and Uranus is in Taurus in the axis of Scorpio Taurus axis, right? So that is stock market and money, investing money. So it could be like somebody going to, or some of you want to invest in something to do with cameras and home security system, and it could actually increase during this time, or even 6 months from now it could happen. All right, guys, and I'm going to bring up a lot of other, what is that, examples as well when I'm gonna go further, but it could actually bring in some kind of amazing material wealth with cryptocurrency. Uh, and technology for sure. And when green energies as well, because Taurus is anything to do with farmland and anything to do with green energies could be really, really great there. Or uranium could go really high again. But uranium, anyway, I did the stock analysis. If you want to buy it, it will go up. All right, the other thing is, for example, we can have political scandals. Uranus could be scandals, right? And for example, South Korea has some kind of political turmoil because President Yoon Suk Yeol, I don't know if I said his name well, but there was some kind of recent declaration of martial law. And so there could be some kind of protest against this new law. And martial law, anything to do with Cancer team, right? And because that is marriage and that is family ruled, and it could be that as well. And in the U.S. political corruption cases, we had the mayor Eric Adams, who actually were accepting foreign gifts, and the Senator Bob Menendez, also for bribery as well. So that is also something to do with this situation. It was, and actually it came to the end right now. So most likely they're going to be convicted for this. So it's ended something, which was some kind of scandal, Uranus scandal. And the conflict on the Middle East, I think it's not going to end yet, just yet. If we go back to Russia and Ukraine, I truly believe, and I said it in multiple videos, even when the war started, I said it's going to be around 3 years. It's not going to be a short one. Yes, it started on my birthday 3 years ago, and I think it's going to end on February 24th, when Mars going to go direct in Cancer, the Ukraine and the Russian war. Okay, but also, so let's talk about actually the conjunction with Mars, because that's more important over here. And Mars actually it's in fall and in retrograde, and it is out of bounds. So it's crazy, crazy. And Mars in Cancer in fall, so it's the fallen soldier. It's so I would expect, because it's out of bound, I would expect there will be a lot of fallen soldiers, unfortunately. So during this time, we could have some kind of, full moon. Moon is a mother. The moon is also tears. So we are crying for our sons, the falling soldiers, in Ukraine, in Russia, in Korea, in around the world. So many young children, young guys are, dying because of this craziness, and we don't need it. And it could be that the tears of the mothers who are grieving their boys, and it could be actually very, very emotional. Yes, but Mars is usually the courage, the drive, the action. It's bold and fiery, and but in Cancer, it doesn't know what to do. It's a water energy. It's actually extinguishing the fire over here, and well, the one thing what it is, Mars in Cancer, I see a lot of mother who has Mars in Cancer, and they are very advocate for their family. They are actually the one who is defending the family, and they are the ones who are fighting for the family rights. But otherwise, if it's sometimes in a male chart, I can say like maybe they are the one who is giving up the fallen soldiers over there. So yeah, it could play out in a female chart actually better than in a male chart. That's what I experienced during my readings and analyzing, thousands of charts. But definitely, so Mars is drive. But over here, it's emotional drive. And Mars is not really assertive or action oriented because it's going backward. By the way, retrograde doesn't mean the planet is going backward, it stands still in the sky. It just looks like it's going backward. But there definitely will be some kind of power struggle, some kind of conflict, and it could come up in the family or like nearby nations. But we will see what else is going to go over here. So, for example, let's talk about the Middle East here. So, the Middle East actually, the aggression going to actually increase over here. And end of the mundane, my little sentiments over here and analysis, I'm going to show you a few countries and a few politicians, right before the inauguration also, because I always wanted to talk about that and what I've seen in the sky. So definitely it's going to increase the aggression. And, it's also going to lead to military actions. And there is going to be new territorial disputes as well. What is going to heighten definitely the tension here? So, for example, it could actually escalate a little bit the Russian-Ukraine conflict. But on the other hand, as I said, around February 24th, when it's going to go direct, I think that war could end there. But the other thing is, yes, the Middle East is definitely going to suffer more, and maybe new countries going to get involved in the Middle East. And we're going to talk about Netanyahu. Actually, I have a lot of Israeli friends, and I have a lot of Palestine and from Lebanon and Morocco, and yes, around the world. And maybe because they are my friend, but nobody wants war, and nobody agrees with Netanyahu, and or either of the politicians who are capable to do something like this, to go to in war just to have another piece of land, and they are preying on innocent people's lives. So this is terrible. So as we said here, because of the Mars impact, I already was talking about this before, but I just want to make sure you understand there could be a new pneumonia over here, which is coming because of Cancer is the chest, and the moon is liquid, and Mars is actually infection. So something to do with pneumonia infection could actually come up here. And in education, that, as I said before, it could be some kind of reform, especially because it's also sextile with Uranus, and Uranus is definitely the genius. But it could be something to do with actually the gun policies, guys, because of Mars is in fall, in retrograde, and it's out of bounds. So there is still a lot of people who want to claim their right to guns, whatever. But somehow I do feel there will be a law that is actually going to support or protect our children in school. So watch out for this news, and it's about 6 months to come until the next new moon. But yes, definitely it could be something coming into the justice system, justice for our children in a larger scale. And as I said, financially, we already talked about Uranus and the cryptocurrency or uranium or anything to do with technology. Actually, I just read a lot of article right now with Elon Musk. He's very close to the fire, right? And by the way, Elon Musk is Cancer Sun. I may be rising as well. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna check his chart. And he can be affected by this full moon tremendously. But yeah, definitely on the financial market, this is the moon actually, because of Mars is actually could be finances. It could, because Mars rules Aries and rules Scorpio, and in Scorpio, the eighth house rules the stock market, rules actually mortgages, taxes, right? Insurances. Okay, insurances. So there could be actually a good news about health insurances, because of it could either go lower or it could be like, we had that um, Luigi kid who killed the United Healthcare CEO. And, a lot of people think he's a hero. And because of this situation, like what was actually carved in the bullet, like delay, deny, whatever. And the thing is over here, a lot of people, especially in higher power, got scared. And don't forget, this moon also going to trine with Neptune. Neptune is hospitals and pharmaceuticals, and also trine the North Node in Pisces by that time, because North Node is moving in the 11th. So obviously there is a tendency over here, an indication we can have some kind of better reform for insurance policies. All right, so people who at least pays the insurance not gonna get denied, like 90% of the people's claims get denied. Crazy. It is unbelievable, unhuman. It's unhuman. And on weather impact, guys, Mars is fire and it's out of bound. It's crazy. Did you see the news of the fire in California again? So it could increase the water temperatures. And even if it's in the north, it's going to be blizzard and it's going to be very cold. But at some places, it's going to be maybe, out of water, or the water temperatures is getting higher, or we're going to have a lot of fire issues. Or, for example, not drought, but for example, in my community, the sprinkler system doesn't work. And it could be like maybe in your community system, it's gonna dry out because of the sprinkler does not work, right? So that could be that one as well. So you just have to translate that for yourself and for your country. Whenever I show actually a chart for the recent lunation or what I'm talking about, I always erect the chart to Miami. Or sometimes I do erect the chart for, wherever, for example, the inauguration gonna happen. Or, if I see something happened in California, obviously I'm going to check that, or going to check astrocartography as well. But yes, usually I do the chart for Miami. But you do that for yourself. You erect the chart wherever you are located, and you will see what's going to go over there, because it's easy to check that way what's happening with your country, for example. Right? So, okay, let me see what else is happening over here. So, yes, it's going to trine Neptune and North Node in Pisces, but it's not going to be exact. And because North Node is 29 degrees and Neptune is 27 degrees. And then it's also going to trine Juno. Juno actually is in Scorpio, 24 degrees. And Juno actually commitment and partnership and harmony. Juno was very, very deeply loyal to Jupiter. Doesn't matter even if Jupiter constantly betrayed her and cheated on her. Juno is the symbolism of not only romance, but true relationship and soulmate relationship. Juno is loyalty, guys. So it is actually talking about maybe about marriages right now. So it could be like maybe this is going to be a time, some kind of new law coming up with marriages, or how we going to actually, not the ties. Maybe that it's not a new law, but maybe it's going to increase romantic relationship during this time. And why not? It's January 13th. Let's see, a few weeks later or a month later, it's going to be, what is that? Valentine's Day, and a lot of people start to look for a partner for Valentine's Day. They don't want to be alone on Valentine's. So actually, yes, it could increase, like going out and having romantic relationship with others. But on the deep level, it's commitment, okay? Who you are committed to other people, or who you are committed to your finances or to your debt. Who do you want to pay off debt? And also what you also have to understand, this is also going to square Aries. Aries is discord and also going to square Chiron in Aries. And Aries is your emotional wounds over here because it's a square with the moon, so emotional wounds. Chiron is the wounded warrior, right? Aries is conflict. So yeah, all right. So let's talk a little bit about the mythology behind those asteroids. And actually, Aries, as I said, is chaos, is discord. Aries is very nasty. Aries wants tension. Aries actually feeding on your insecurity, and it's want you to suffer. So Aries is so mean, it loves you to be to actually suffer. And well, Aries was actually responsible for the golden apple that caused the war among the goddesses, if you remember the mythology. And Chiron is the wounded healer, as I said. Where did you, and the karmic wound as well, where were you wounded and what do you need to heal here? And obviously, it's a full moon, it's closing some kind of wound, it's closing up your wound and you are healed. And it could be literal. Maybe you had a surgery and the wound is healing right now. But it also could bring in and also can trigger actually some kind of past wound in family or home life, which is actually, if it's going to surface, it's need to be faced and healed, right? Because that's what it is. If at least it's not denied, then we are capable to heal it. I always tell the boys and everyone around, face your enemies, face your like challenges, because that's the only one you are capable to overcome it. All right. So Chiron actually is a centaur who healed others as well. Because why did he heal others? Because he was unable to heal his own wound, right? So that is very, very important about this Chiron in mythology. And Juno, as I said, Juno is beautiful and a commitment in partnership, loyalty, it is actually the way you are. The Juno was very nurturing, and it's the asteroid of marriage, actually. Um, so the Queen of Gods. So what can we see over here? Yes. So there will be, because of there is a square with Chiron and Aries, so there will be emotional conflict. But through the emotional conflict, we're going to heal the wounds, right? There is definitely a personal identity struggle and family drama, but because we're capable to have that and bring that on the surface, we're capable to confront it as well. And because of Juno is there as well, and Juno is actually a trine over here. And because it is commitment and it is loyalty, so Juno will help to heal this kind of tension, this wound, this struggle with family as well, right? So there could be some kind of, if we're going to go back to the geopolitical tensions, what those asteroid and the square could create, there could be some kind of trade war, right? Because of there could be some kind of economic wounds, but we have to actually balance out, and it's worldwide. It's not going to only affect one country, right? Aries is in gold and Aries is discord. It wants the other country to suffer, right? So, and then Juno wants to bring in justice. And yeah, definitely there could be some kind of um, something to do with the existing conflicts like Israel-Palestine dispute, there could be something coming up with it as well. And we could actually have some kind of mental health crisis because of Aries is here. And as I said, the healthcare policy debates, because of what we had with this CEO was killed, we might going to have better health insurances, or they actually will care for people. I mean, I truly doubt it because everything is greed. with insurance and insurance policies. And but maybe there we will be seeing a little bit of improvement. And there could be some kind of corporate scandals with financial market as well, because the market could be volatile. Maybe cryptocurrency going to do well, but the market itself could be volatile as well. And because of, there is going to be some kind of underlying fears. Why? Because of the geopolitical issues around us, right? And the weather-related issues over here. Don't forget the square with Chiron and Aries here. And the opposition also with pot of fortune, right? So it's in Capricorn and it's also opposing silver. So I would assume the silver price right now for a while going to suffer a little bit of decrease over here. Yes, but also we're going to have some kind of corporate scandals. We're going to learn about, how they actually infected our river, or, some kind of unethical, financial situation where they hide money and they spend money, like for things for personal use. And it what was given for maybe cancer society, and somebody stole it, or somebody stole from the charity what was supposed to go for the earthquake or fire. So we're gonna learn about that definitely. There will be a lot of climate change activism because Uranus is involved, and Uranus is sextiling over here. So that's going to be some kind of positive change here. The activism going to actually achieve something, because there is always some kind of okay, let's rebel, let's do a protest, but sometimes protest doesn't achieve anything. But in this time and at this moment, it's going to achieve something positive. Um, and as I said, with the natural disasters over here, yes, it could be, we are very vulnerable right now as a society, as humanity, but because of North Node also ingressed in Pisces, it is going to be a compassionate change in our life. And I truly hope that is for the better, and it's our saving grace. I truly hope this is our saving grace. Yes, so that's what it is. And yes, so as I said, it's opposing pot of fortune and silver. And pot of fortune actually is the pot of gold. Where is the money kind of situation? And it's in Capricorn. So what does it say to us? What was hidden from us? Something with the pot of gold. The gold and the silver is in the hand of riches. And maybe it was misplaced, or stolen, or we're going to learn about actually some kind of money was not used for what it's supposed to be used for. All right, and what else I wanted to talk about? Hmm. You know what I wanted to talk about? I wanted to actually show you guys. Yes, let me share this. Oh, I'm on Joe Rogan, but actually I'm going to show first America. And I think I can share. Let me see my Zoom here. So I'm going to make sure. Uh, oh my, okay, stop it. Okay, so I just want to share some charts with you, and I'm gonna keep resharing because I don't know if it is going to change or not. Sometimes it's changing by itself. So this is the US, and actually, let me see what's going on with the US. So the US going to have the full moon on part of fortune, vertex, and Mercury. Okay, so Mercury is contract, right? Or actually, the US could have, and Mars is over here as well on 24 degrees. So the US could have some kind of issue with mortgage, with interest rate, with housing market, actually. So it could, because of the moon is full, right? And the Mars is a sword, the moon representing bubble, so it could end the housing bubble in the US within 6 months, right? It could decrease the interest rate. That could be that. All right. And what else do we see over here? What we can talk about? So, usually when it's a moon, I always check the nation's moon. Where is it located? And it's located actually in the second house. And if it does anything, any squares, it doesn't do anything right now, which could be, like, all right, we're supposed to talk about that. But I think what we need to talk about actually, that is the eighth house, and it could be something to do with mortgage rate or tax. Or actually stock market also, it could deflate the stock market as well. Yes, it could actually lower the stock market as well. And let me see if it does anything to do with the US midheaven, or the sun. Where is the sun of the US? The sun of the US actually also in Cancer, 13 degrees. All right. Okay, and it squares with natal Saturn. Okay, now, because I wanted to say something about the inauguration over here, and so the I still think we still supposed to. So it's still Biden and Harris who is in power. They still Virgo, and Trump and oh my God, Vance is elected. That is the Republican Party actually over here, right? So let me see what is going on inauguration day. Hmm. No, I think I'm going to do a total new video, and I'm going to bring up the other people's chart as well. Okay. All right. So what we have to know about America, it is going to most likely um, do something with the yeah, with the interest rate. All right. And then I'm gonna go actually and check what's going to happen with Israel and Netanyahu. And then we're going to check Trump as well a little bit. Okay, so I wanted to check over here. So Syria, actually, I want to show you Syria, guys. And here is Syria. Syria has an ascendant 24 degrees. Where is the full moon going to happen? If you can see that. And that is actually squaring with Mars in the 10th house. So some kind of military action over here. And it's also squaring Syria's king in the fourth house of land. So it could be like the king could get killed, actually, the Syrian prime minister or whatever. It could be killed. But the moon is on the ascendant um, of Syria. So this is actually definitely a big conflict and some kind of military action. And then I'm going to move forward over here. And then I'm going to actually check here. Let's see Trump. Why not? Where is Trump? I have Trump somewhere. Okay, here is Trump. And actually, I wanted to also show you. So this is Trump transit chart, guys, right? No, actually, I did the transit and the progress chart. So that's good because of Trump actually has the progress Saturn in 3 degrees as well. And it's opposing Pluto, right? So he has an ascendant in Leo, and the Cancer full moon going to happen between Venus and Saturn, the midpoint of his natal Venus and Saturn. Okay, what does it mean? And Mars is also here. The moon is here, and then also Mars is over here. And what is it gonna do? It's going to actually square with the king, with himself, right? So it could be, and with Jupiter as well, it's not an exact square with Jupiter, but it's squaring the king, and it's squaring progress Venus for him as well. Okay, so what does it mean? So an old issue from the past, what was hidden because of a woman, going to come out again, which is going to sabotage the king itself again. And it could be romantically sabotage, or like the sabotage because of there could be a new claim for some kind of new romance or new scandal could come out for him as well. But Mars actually on Saturn for him right now, and the moon is ending hospitalization. It could bring in some kind of hospitalization as well. The 12th house also hidden enemy. There could be actually a hidden enemy who is a female but hidden, who is actually pretend to be on his side, but it's not. And on the other hand, is the moon actually it's sextiling with Uranus, right? So it's create a beautiful sextile with Uranus and midheaven, but at the same time, Uranus and midheaven going to square with his natal Mars. So again, there could be some kind of downfall over here because of a past issue what is coming back. Mars is in retrograde, out of bound, bouncing back. But it could also create some kind of pneumonia or hospital. And Mars is actually a gun as well. So it could create also some kind of coming back an issue what was in the past. So it could be another, like trying to actually shut him again. So that could be shut the king because it's squaring with the king. I always say, hopefully, never gonna happen because, guys, I don't care if you love him or like or hate him. If something like this happens, we all gonna suffer. You have to understand. Because of that, it's going to be bloodbath, chaos, and more separation, more dividing situation, and we don't want that. We want peace and love. I want peace and love. So we definitely don't want anything like that. All right. But it could happen. And why do I say that? I keep saying that, guys, because of progress Saturn is in 3 degrees for him. Progress moon is in Scorpio, right? It's gonna go up soon to 20 degrees opposing Uranus over here, right? So it is actually going to be opposition with Uranus. He has the progress sun in 9 degrees Virgo. So at this moment, we have Saturn further than 9 degrees. It's 14 degrees already, but it's still an opposition. So Saturn and Sun could go actually 12 degrees between them to be a conjunction, opposition, square. So we still consider this to be an opposition. And because Saturn is in his 8th house, right? Eighth house, anything to do with poison, for example, anything to do with people who are unloyal. And because of he has the moon, is actually the moon is transferring the life at the midpoint between Venus and Saturn. That's definitely could be someone unloyal who is a female figure. He's trusted someone. He actually put somebody in the position who is a female and could betray him. Sorry, or actually some would, yeah, it could be also like something coming up for him with poison, I would think, or some kind of pneumonia as well. All right, let's see and move forward with it. That is actually the inauguration day, what I know. It's January 14th, what I put. So I still don't see it. No, I just gonna do another video. It's too much. It would be too much right now. We don't care about Biden anymore. We can do Israel. Let's see Israel over here. So here it is. Israel actually, where is Cancer? Cancer. Oh, okay. All right. Look at that. Cancer is on the midheaven, in the 10th house midheaven. So the midheaven over here is the ruler, right? And actually it's exact on the midheaven and progress Mercury is over there as well. Okay. Does it do anything with the other planets or any other points? Yes, actually, look at that. It squares the king. And look at that. The king is in 22 degrees, 9 minutes. Look at this. There will be, I told you guys, there is going to be multiple prime minister or kings overthrown by the secondary, the vice president, or actually for a new political party, or the suns. Saturn and Jupiter also going to square. So yes, it's going to happen. multiple people. And because of we do have Mars and Pluto opposition 3 times, and because of Mars is in Leo, Leo is represented the sun, the leader, the king, we're going to have 3 significant leaders dying. It could be terror attacks, it could be anything. So here is Israel's king is Netanyahu, 22 degrees, squaring the midheaven and squaring the moon over here. Okay, all right. So this is just something like that. And also Uranus is actually on the sun, which is the leader again. And, it is opposing Chiron. So it could be actually an issue. And, the sun also, which is the king of Israel, which is Netanyahu, squares actually with natal Mars here, which is also could represent some kind of major issue for him. He could be killed, kidnapped, things like that, because the sun is in the eighth house. Eighth house is people with no integrity. It's cartel, mafia, terrorists, it could happen. All right, let's move forward. And actually, let's see Netanyahu's chart and let's see if I'm right, because I saw that in Israel chart, but do I see that in Netanyahu? You see, Netanyahu has a Sagittarius rising. He has the moon, the full moon happening actually 24 degrees in his eighth house of death. And actually it is squaring with his own sun in Libra. Can it happen? Yes, it can. Absolutely. And it's also opposing Jupiter here, right? And what else is happening here? Let me see. Yes, yeah, definitely it could happen. Let me see. So Uranus also squaring for him with the natal king, Pluto, and Mars conjunction. Uranus is something rebellion, unexpected. So Netanyahu could be one of the person who is actually going to. And Trump also has a very bad chart as well. Let me see Elon Musk, the right hand of Trump right now. Elon Musk is, he's a genius. He's autistic, but he's genius. He has spectrum. He has North Node in Aquarius. Obviously, it's in the eighth house. He makes millions with technology and anything to do with flying object. Aquarius rules spaceships. So this is so obvious. It's showing very well. Oh, all right. So he has the ascendant in Cancer as well, not just the moon, the sun. Okay. Yes. So the full moon gonna happen in his first house, right? And it's going to square his midheaven, guys. Okay. And what else gonna happen over here? Okay, so it's gonna happen and it's going to actually also square chaos and king in 21 degrees. So he's a little king right now, yeah? And he has king anyway in the 10th house, right? But also conjunct with chaos. So he's very chaotic. Everything around him was chaotic. His life was not easy. He was bullied, parents divorced, he got always, declined so many. His project actually failed, and he's a Cancer rising Cancer sun. He has a lot of emotion. He was crying in social media so many times, so you can actually see he's a Cancer. But it is squaring this moon, guys. It's not good. It's squaring his midheaven and chaos and king. So something, maybe a position he could do, and I don't know why, because he is doing really, really great. But something could happen right now with him because it's squaring with his midheaven, which could affect his social status, or it could affect actually his social media account. Something, it could be hacked. X, he calls it X right now. Yes, Twitter is X. Yeah. So something could happen with one of his major project, maybe even Tesla cars, but I would think maybe it's X, it's the social media account what could actually create some kind of issues and have some kind of difficulties over there. All right, guys, let's see someone else. Let's see, for example, let's see maybe Putin, right? And Russia. Let's see what's gonna. Oh, I wanted to check NATO as well. I know I checked NATO as well. Let me see what's gonna happen with Putin, guys, with this full moon here. So full moon is going to happen in his ninth house. His chart was ratified, right? Nobody knows when Putin was born, but I definitely think he has Venus actually in detriment, and the ascendant actually is in Scorpio. Again, we know who he is. He's a dictator. So definitely, I would think that is Scorpio ascendant. So, so does actually the moon does something with any planets? Because if you don't know exactly the ascendant, it was ratified. Let's go actually what is over here. So yes, it is actually squaring with Mercury. And he has a moon, and if that is well ratified, the moon actually it's in Gemini for him, 28 degrees in the eighth house. All right, and let's see what the moon does over here. The natal moon, does it do any kind of? Yes, it does. It is actually squaring with transit Neptune and North Node, and also chaos is in 29 degrees for him in Pisces, so it's squaring. So there will be some kind of rebellion situation in Russia, and maybe women's going to rebel because their children going to be drafted in military, the young boys, like Mars is in Cancer right now, and conjunct with the full moon, it's a lot of fallen soldiers over there. So obviously it could be some kind of protest against the war. Russians also wants to stop war for sure. So that could be that. And it is really, that is his subconscious. Moon is or subconscious. And do you know, actually, Putin is always scared to be poisoned. So this is really funny, but yes, he has a Scorpio ascendant. Scorpio rules poison, eighth house moon rules poison over here, and he has someone who is a taster, and it's opposing actually the Mars, the natal Mars, and the progress sun actually is in the second house. So it's too much money spent on military and has some kind of financial issues of Russia. The public suffers because of spend too much money on military and on defense and offense, and that's why the public, the general public, suffers because of that. Yes, but definitely it is actually the moon over here with Mars, and it is squaring with Mercury over here. Mercury, oh, all right. So Mercury is in the 12th house and it's in Libra. So it could be like somebody maybe is spying, somebody who says want to have peace and getting close to him, but it is actually an enemy. It's a hidden enemy, for example, and it's a foreigner, someone who wants to get close to and maybe wants to have actually a, oh, I know what it could be. Maybe somebody wants to do a uh, like oh my God, I forget his name. Carson, the American journalist. I like him, but okay. So he did actually a 2.5 hour interview with Putin. So someone else might going to do an interview or whatever, and actually he can imprison someone to spread information. Ninth house is podcast, broadcast information, publication, and it is squaring with the Mercury. Somebody who wrote something against him or about him, he can actually imprison the person, and it could be very, very major publicity gets, and actually a major issue with that situation, pushback from other countries. All right. I don't know who we should check in over here, but I think we should just, I'm not gonna check Hungary right now, and neither Orban, but I wanted to actually Iran, because Iran actually going to have uh, Jupiter is in 29 degrees exalted in Cancer for Iran. and the moon going to happen in the eighth house. It could actually increase the mortality, but on the other hand, Iran has a beautiful trine, and it involves the moon, which is his nation, his people over here, and Mercury also in Pisces and North Node. So it's actually going to have some kind of new purpose on the land, a new leader coming in also, perhaps for the Iranian government. But it is a beautiful kite and grand trine. So I would think because of Russia supports Iran, right? And also Brazil because the BRICS nation and Korea as well. I think Iran will actually do well, surprisingly well. So if you are Iranian, guys, this is a good news for you, perhaps. And then, yeah, I think so. They have still Jupiter in the open enemies, and open enemies could be the US for them. And Jupiter is opposing the king over here. So, yeah, that definitely the open enemies hits the recent, government, perhaps. Iranian government, but I'm saying it could be a really great chart right now for Iran. And of course, let's see then Palestine as well. Why not? But I did the State of Palestine, the Declaration of Independence guy, because I'm not willing to give the same birthday as Israel has. Okay, because that's absolutely not working like that. So here is the Palestinian chart. We changed it. And Palestine has actually a moon in Aquarius, 5 degrees. Unfortunately, Pluto is approaching, right? And it's squaring with natal Pluto, guys. Uh, it's not good. It's not good at all. This is the full moon actually going to happen in their sixth house. It is the health care, it is families, it is the people, because the moon rules the people of Palestine, and the natal moon, we always check, it's also in Aquarius, approached by Pluto, and also squares with natal Pluto. It's not exact yet, but it is approaching. So obviously, this is a very sad news for the Palestinian people. I'm praying every single day for you guys. Every single day, I'm praying for everyone. All right, I'm not gonna go right now with Lebanon or Hungary or King Charles. Actually, I do show King Charles also, because the opposition between Pluto and Mars, which happened recently, January 3rd, it could actually, the story can happen in a month, right? So fold out in a month, and look at that, what's happening over here. So Charles has an ascendant actually in Leo, 5 degrees. Mars was over here, went actually retrograde here, opposing Pluto and squaring with his moon. Definitely Charles life is coming to an end in a half year, or if not his life, but he definitely not going to be a king within half year. All right. And you know what? That's it right now. Let me stop sharing for you guys. And also, okay, I stop sharing here. And let me just go actually for each individual signs, because right now I totally did a very long reading. I didn't want to, but I just wanted to talk about a lot of things over here. Okay, my dears. Okay, we're going to start actually with Aries rising, sun and moon. You know the drill. If you are watching that for your rising sign, it's all about you, everything in your life. If you are watching that about your moon, moon is your subconscious, the way you are nurturing yourself, your family life, your real estate, your land situation, home situation. And it is actually also your mother figure. And the sun is anything about your father figure, your career, your vitality, your health, you know. So let's see what's going on right now for you, Aries rising sun and moon. Or if you have actually a stellium in Aries, then you can watch this as well. So the full moon going to happen in your fourth house, and fourth house anything to do with home, family, and emotional security. All right. So, for example, because of the Mars also conjunct with the full moon, your emotional drive to defend your family and home could lead to actually an outburst. Why? Because Mars is out of bound. So there is actually a stand of urgency to stand up for your emotional security and create. Maybe you're going to buy a lot of cameras around the house to be safe. And, it's also going to square with Aries as well. So it is bringing in attention something, a heated argument, maybe with the family members, or maybe about a home situation. Maybe you want to buy and your husband doesn't, or vice versa, right? But definitely, it's very, very high emotional tension and argument over here. And it could also bring in a scenario where you are moving into a new home. Right? Because of the conjunction, the way these planets are converse with each other, they tap off each other's. Mars is driving the moon crazy, right? Mars is heated, and in water, it's suffocating also. So, there could be something with, all right, I cannot live in this house anymore. It's too small for me. I need an office. Let's move. I cannot do this anymore. Or it could bring in an ending for you. Maybe you want to end a relationship. There is definitely a significant decision about some kind of end over here. And with Aries, the frustration, it's like growing and it's very intense. And you have different desires than anyone else in the family. And you just want to do it quickly. It's impatient. It's a lot of impatient energy. Maybe the host, because Chiron is here as well, maybe the host remind you through some kind of wound. Maybe somebody died in the house and you just want to get rid of it. And it could also actually, maybe you're going to seek for your biological families during this time, or maybe you are cutting cord with some kind of family members because of their abusive. And it doesn't mean because somebody is family you have to keep the relationship all the time, especially if they don't respect you guys. That's you have to respect yourself. That's definitely one thing here. So try to handle the situation with calmness if you can. However, Mars is out of bound. I don't think so. We're going to be very calm. But yes, it could be, or maybe you're going to do a family event and it's going to turn out very intense. People are going to start to fight. Mm. On a wedding or something like that, a birthday party. So it could be also some kind of tension with that as well. All right, Taurus rising, sun and moon, the full moon going to happen in your third house. Anything to do with communication, sibling, local environment, anything to do with, like skill-based studies with your social media, maybe online teaching, something to do also with crafting as well. So maybe you're going to finish a licensing study, or maybe you started a book and right now finishing it up. And it's very, very emotional. Or maybe you publish something and your family or your sibling doesn't really agree with that because you wrote about them. Or maybe you are actually having some kind of issue with your neighbor, a fight about a dog, or barking dog all the time. Something like that could happen as well. You definitely have to try to express yourself on a nicer tone because of moon is very emotional, Mars is crazy and aggressive, and Aries is evil. So you have to try to actually balance your emotion over here and not to immediate response to events. Try to actually count till 2000 before you respond, because it could declare a war between you and a neighbor or between you and a sibling. And actually, you actually can cut cords as well with the siblings if you don't want to. So please then just count till 2000. All right. But definitely you need to communicate clearly. You might going to be sued by, a neighbor or a sibling if you use some kind of data in your book. So careful with that. And if you are speaking in public, try not to hurt other people's feeling, because of you will be courageous to express yourself, but the way you speak has to be like rethink and rethought over and over again. Gemini rising sun and moon is going to happen in your second house. Second house, anything to do with your values, self-worth, finances, that is your material possession, that is the food what you eat. So you're cutting out some kind of food. Elimination diet could be possible during this time. But also it could be some kind of emotional eating coming in as well, because anyway, it's the full moon. But because Mars is over there, yeah, maybe you can have some kind of, okay, I'm very angry and I eat a whole bar of chocolate, something like that. Anything to do with your money, with your possession. Mars is very, very fiery, but it's not very well situated. So you might going to have some loss of job, or, a sidekick of job. Right now it's not there for you anymore, and you are seeking for some kind of security, and you actually try to find a sidekick job, or things like that. Maybe you loved spicy food and right now you're not going to like it because of it's going to give you heartburn kind of situation also. There could be also some kind of disagreement with your partner because it squares with Aries, and it is like, all right, so the disagreement about, finances. Are you working enough? Do you bring the same value and the same morals into this relationship kind of situation? And you're also going to reassess the way you are actually handling money and you saving. So you might have to get a financial advisor or look into your spending habits as well, because of, money could actually increase your self-worth. But if you don't have money, it could actually make you depressed. So yeah, also if you have some kind of dispute, and it could be something to do with, all right, I have to call the credit card company, because the square with Aries could be like, maybe I had some kind of cybersecurity issues, and maybe that's what's happening. So that could be like, all right, I need to do something about my finances. Also, you can have sudden gain or losses as well, because it's closing something, but also opening up a new energy. So maybe you lost the job, or maybe you lost something on one stock market, but the other actually going to balance it out, or the other going to go high enough to make actually a major profit from out of the two. All right, Cancer rising sun and moon is going to happen in your first house, which everything about yourself, your identity, that is your self-confidence, your personal goals, your body, the mask what you are wearing, the way you pretend, the way you represent yourself and your company. And it is moon, so it is very emotional, conjunct with out of bound Mars, which is crazy a little bit, but also fallen in Cancer and retrograde. So it could bring back a relationship from the past who you were fighting with. But I wouldn't definitely believe that person again, because Mars is crazy, so it's lying again. So don't take back the ex who is begging for you, because that's not an out, it's not what it is. It's a pretend, and it's square with Aries. It could be like, all right, maybe you made a mistake. You had some kind of adultery and you were unfaithful in a relationship, but you regretted it. And right now the ex-partner is coming back and says, okay, I'm gonna take you back. But the partner just going to take you back to punish you. So it could happen, definitely. But also it could be some kind of impulsive decision you're going to take with Mars involved over here. And maybe you cut your hair short, or you actually dye your hair and it's very red, and then you're not gonna like it. It could be some kind of major change. Mars is also, anything to do with surgeries, because it rules the eighth house, and maybe you want to do a surgery, and it's because it's sextile with Uranus, it's absolutely unexpected, and it's coming like just a crazy idea, and you do a surgery and you regret it over there because you will have to repeat the surgery. Don't do anything until Mars is in retrograde, and then March 1st, Venus gonna go to retrograde, and it's gonna go direct in April 12th. So I would not advise anything unless if it is a must to do surgery or trauma to anyone, guys, during this time. All right. Yes, so some kind of impulsive decision with relationship or career, but I would try to avoid that. And definitely it could be conflict with loved ones as well, right? Because of it's in your first house, and first house, everything about you. But also it's ending something what doesn't serve you. It's a major growth and transformation, and it's emotional. You might going to go to psychotherapy, reincarnation hypnosis, which is going to bring up a trauma, Chiron, right? And you're going to heal yourself, and it's going to give you actually a new life, and it's going to give you power and self-discovery. All right, Leo rising, sun and moon. Full moon is in your 12th house. 12th has anything to do with spirituality, hidden matters, subconscious secrets, hidden assets. 12th house rules the underprivileged, and also it rules filmography, photography, and art, and the industry actually of the uh, famous people. That is, it's ruled by Pisces, which is Neptune and Jupiter. So those are the glamorous people. So Leo rising, you like to shine, you like to be center of attention. My son, my older son is a Leo rising, and yeah, definitely. He loves the sun. He has his moon also in Leo. So 12 house over here, and actually conjunct with Mars, it could actually increase some kind of issue with either with spirituality issues, like do I still believe in what I believed before, or there could be very, very intense dreams, war dreams, sex dreams, anything to do with secrets. For example, you guys can have some kind of secret enemy. You think actually you have a friend on your arm, but actually that's an enemy. So try to avoid that, right? And there could be some kind of, because it is actually confronting with Mars and Aries as well, and Chiron as well, their kind of past trauma from your life could come back. Maybe you experience someone loss, and maybe this one coming back into your dream, and the trauma is relieved somehow. But anyway, it's going to help you to heal from maybe a grief. Maybe you're going to start to meditate or some new kind of spiritual practice as well. If you guys are addicted to something, smoking, drinking, drugs, alcohol, whatever is that, right now, actually, you can end this with this full moon. It's ending something, it's ending an addiction, and you are healing slowly, okay? It is a breakthrough also in your career as well, because it's sextile with Uranus, right? And Uranus is in your 10th house. So, it is something to do with your career. I mean, it squares with Uranus. Oh, no, no, the moon itself, that is a Cancer moon, yes. So it sextiles with Uranus. All right, and it's in the, okay. So that's gonna be actually good for you guys. Yeah, 12 house and 10th house sextile, yes. So some kind of hidden opportunity. Somebody behind the scene wants you to succeed. Maybe a teacher, maybe someone is giving you money, funding your, if you want to become a mayor or some kind of political, you know, party to become the leader over their CEO. Somebody is helping you to achieve what you need to achieve. Yes, all right. Virgo rising, sun and moon is going to happen in your 11th house. 11th house is your social network, your community, your friendship, and that is actually money from your career. That's earning from your career. And the full moon over here, it's ending a hopes and wishes, ending a long-term goal. I know maybe because you completed, or maybe it doesn't suit your lifestyle anymore, and maybe you change your dreams, right? And also Mars is conflicting over here. So what's going to happen over here? You cut a relationship, you cut a friendship, you cut out some kind of social network, people who doesn't align with your goals anymore. You get out from a community or a league, or maybe you paid a lot of money to be in a group, I know because I live close by to Boca Raton, and over here they pay 150 to $100,000 just to be in this Boca Resort something society. What is that? And just to go over there to have lunch. Sometimes I never understand people like that, but whatever. Okay. So maybe you just realize it's not you anymore and you just want to get rid of that. But full moon is also could be because it's also money from your career. Maybe you are going to get some kind of money finally. It's something coming to a ending and you get the promotion finally. Okay, I needed to drink a little bit because I talk way too much, guys. All right, so what else going to, breaking free from social norms. You don't want to be judged. You don't want to um, um, just live for somebody's expectation, and you just not going to care for it anymore. Maybe you were actually invited to be, I mean, forced to be a, what is that, jury duty, but somehow you can get out of it, for example, or maybe actually a court is coming to the end. All right, Libra rising, sun and moon, full moon is in your 10th house. That's your career, public life, and reputation. All right, there is a professional breakthrough for you. Something is ending. Maybe you were a politician and you don't want to be anymore. Your terms is coming to an ending. Very dramatic shift in your career path, right? Because also it's sextile with Uranus, unexpected in your career path, but also squaring with Aries and Chiron. So it could be actually some kind of issue with a co-worker or superiors, right? Because Mars conjunction superiors and some kind of power struggle or difficulties or differing in values as well. And you need to stand up for yourself. You need to actually save your reputation. So there is definitely a tension between the public expectation and between your personal identity. You have to be totally different who you are in your personal life. And this transformation, maybe your family doesn't like the way you actually pretend in public, and it is a conflict over there. Because you want to be liked, and you have to wear a mask, and there is colleagues who are going against you, wanting to take your leadership position, and you have to actually save that and try to support yourself. Scorpio rising, sun and moon. The full moon is going to happen in your ninth house. Ninth house, anything to do with your higher learning, philosophy. It's long distance traveling, older siblings. It's anything to do with export, import businesses, and actually overseas traveling. And it is actually also passport, citizenship, visas, things like that. And publication, guys, also publications, podcast, and broadcast as well. And also, actually, ninth house is TV series as well. So, you might actually finish, if you are an actor or actress, finish the series right now and it's came to fruition and completion. Or you published a book and you are very happy about that. But maybe it's not going to get the best review at the beginning because it's conjunct Mars and going to square Aries and Chiron. So there is a wound. What you have to overcome here and here through that kind of publication. Maybe if you're doing a lot of YouTube, you can get a lot of troll, right? So it could actually do some kind of, issue with that trolling as well. You're going to get into fight with people who are, like making comment on your videos, things like that. So it could be a roadblock here. But also maybe you just wanted to actually finish a doctorate or finish your university studies and somehow you are not capable to study right now. You are too angry or you have some kind of infection or some kind of other issues, personal emotional breakdowns, and you are not really capable to focus on studying right now. Or maybe you have some issues with your philosophy. You don't believe in what you believed before and it's driving you nuts, and you want to really have some kind of faith, but you just researching and researching and researching right now, and you can be a little bit also sarcastic about that during this time. All right, Sagittarius rising, sun and moon. The full moon is in your eighth house actually, and eighth house is your shared resources. I'm a Sagittarius rising myself, Actually, for me, this moon going to trine Jupiter in Pisces and Neptune and North Node by transit. So for you as well, going to trine by Neptune and North Node. I don't know your personal horoscope, obviously, but if anyone has, some kind of water at 20 to 28 degrees, those are lucky with this full moon because it's trining. All right, guys, so what's going on here? Maybe you're going to get a really good interest rate to buy a house. Maybe you pay off your debts. Maybe you're going to actually, your husband or your wife going to get a promotion and going to bring in income. Maybe you get an inheritance or a good tax refund. It could be also an amazing tax refund as well. Maybe you're getting rid of family karma and trauma right now. So actually, Sagittarius rising, it's not bad for you guys. You can pay off debts and, credit cards as well. So this could be really, really good because Mars is in 4 over here. But it could be if you are on stock market, I would be scared right now to put some new money in stock market because it could decrease at this moment. So be careful what you are putting your eggs, how do they say? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Yeah. That's for sure over here. That is trauma and also anything to do with pregnancies. Somebody going to have a baby, but unfortunately, Mars is here. Some Sagittarius rising sun and moon could lose actually a pregnancy. It could actually bring in a surgery, and it could be unexpected sextile with Uranus, but if it is unexpected, it's going to turn out positive if it's a surgery over here. But definitely, I wouldn't do any elective surgery, as I mentioned before. Okay, all right. Capricorn rising sun and moon. Full moon is going to happen in your seventh house. Partnership, marriage, business relationship, legal matters, and that is your followers, actually, subscribers and VIP clients as well. So, it could bring in a relationship conflict. You can actually end a marriage over here or an engagement. It could also end a business partnership, obviously. You can have actually, like, maybe you had some kind of VIP client and you don't want to do anything with the clients anymore. But also it brings in the same time a new beginning as well. And it's conjunct Mars, and Mars is taking some kind of bold action. So maybe there was some kind of cheating in the relationship, and the new relationship is already granted because it's a third party involved over here. But it squares Aries, and Aries wants everybody to suffer. So I would believe there is, if you are divorcing, there could be a very, very hard aspect. The significant other doesn't want you to go and, going to give you a hard time to let you go. And if you have any kind of business decision during this time, don't mix actually martial and business decision together. So don't make somebody hire your wife or husband during this time because of it could have a backlash for you and it wouldn't turn out to be great. Be very mindful in any kind of business partnership. If you are actually making alliances right now, careful who you're going to actually take in as a partner because they can turn out to be actually evil and not good for you at all. Yes. So it could end actually a legal matter, a negotiation. If you were suing someone, it could end something, or if you've been sued. Aquarius rising sun and moon, it's going to happen in your sixth house. Sixth house, anything to do with your work routine, health, daily routine, anything to do with your pets, with your tenants, with your employees, with your employers. It is your rental property as well, small pets as well. So let's see what's going to happen over here. Well, first of all, which is wouldn't be a good news, you can lose a pet, unfortunately, during this full moon. Also, you can lose actually an employment, or maybe your tenant is not going to stay in your rental property, or maybe your roommate is leaving. You can actually change a gym or a gym membership, or you can change maybe a yoga membership over here. If you get actually, if you went to the hospital or, doctors, and if you get an opinion during this time, you might not going to like actually what they say and how you have to change your health and what you have to do to change your health. So you might want to actually seek for another opinion when Mars is going to go direct, if you can wait that long. But because Mars is out of bounds, you might want to open some kind of gym as well. And it wouldn't be maybe the best idea because you have a lot of other commitment, or you don't have the right amount of money and you would put yourself in debt. But definitely it could bring in some kind of health issues, which is inflammation or infection, or something with cutting, breaking. So be careful with break your toes or things like that, or cut yourself, because definitely it could bring in situations like that during this time. Sixth house is not the best, for this is health, and it's a full moon, it's ending over something. But in some cases, guys, it could end struggles. So maybe somebody said you have a permanent illness, a terminal illness, and maybe it's not true. Maybe actually you got healed. Because don't forget, anyway, it's going to trine with Neptune and North Node. Neptune North Node conjunction actually, and exalted Venus also in Pisces, are absolutely not trining with the moon, but somehow coexist with Neptune North Node. So we're going to include that, and actually it could bring in a miraculous healing for some. All right. And then we're going to have Pisces rising sun and moon. It's in our fifth house, creativity, romance, self-expression, joy, pleasure, children, and investment as well, and also lottery ticket as well. But this is a full moon, so I don't think so it will bring in lottery ticket winning. I think actually it could bring in some kind of lost in investment. Maybe your child is moving out, maybe your other child, or maybe actually, like your child is going to university or moving away somehow. And it could also bring in, like, if you had a romantic partner and you don't align with the values anymore, or you don't understand each other's the same way you did before, that romantic partnership could end. If you had an agent or manager, you might going to end the contract with the agent and the manager over here. It could bring in some kind of fight with a child. And my son is in Pisces. I hope I'm not gonna fight with my children, but it could bring in some kind of tension between children and you as well, or romantic partner and you and as well. And some kind of, if you have some kind of I don't know, party during this time, it could actually bring some kind of argument and tension on some kind of party as well. If you are actually writing a project and it has to be something to do with creativity, you might going to get a pushback somehow, and a very harsh criticism, because maybe you are very authentic and people are not ready to hear the truth. It could be the outcome of that. Or your creative work is held back. Maybe you wrote a book and it's already banned. That's what happened with me. But it could happen, obviously. And or maybe there is a subject what you wanted to represent and it's a creative field, but people are not ready to see the subject what you painted or wrote about, or actually sing about, because they feel like it's too much tension, or they're just not ready to hear it. And maybe later on it could be a big hit, like, never forget, just always think of Lord of the Rings and Star Wars and Squid Game or whatever. That's how I actually make myself optimistic. In a few years you could be discovered with something what you have done in the past. So if you get a bad criticism right now about some kind of work what you've done, and the public is not ready to receive it yet, later on they will be able to. All right, guys, I love to be here with you. Please, please spread the word about me and subscribe, and make a comment below. Anything, a thank you. How did it work out for you? I want to hear about you. I want to learn. I'm ready to learn all the time. And it would be great, actually, if you would also, mention something in the comment section below. And I also going to share, my 2025 astrology, what you can purchase, and all the in the comment section below what you can purchase from stock market. And you can see that on the screen. Urbanwitch.org actually is my website, and you see over there my contact information, my phone number, and everything actually. And if you want to purchase something, you tell me what do you want, and I send it to you, and you can pay PayPal, Venmo, or whatever you want to pay with. And thank you so much to being here. I talk to you soon. Bye for now.